Hi, it's Cassandra, and I'm here making a video to catch up with you on your January jumpstart. So I received lots of great feedback on people who had looked at the videos to consume some of the content and gotten a lot of motivation and inspiration to get started with their own jump start for the beginning of the year. So getting healthy, getting wealthy, getting wise, and getting organized, that's what it was about. So the whole idea of jump starting your January is so that the rest of the year you maintain it. And so right about now, it's after the March break, people are beginning to fall off of those routines and rituals and practices. They're so hard to keep practices. So the motivation and the inspiration, it is so important to keep those going in order to fuel those practices and the continuation of them. So that is one of the things we do here at the Art Journalist. We give that inspiration because we know how hard it is to keep it all going for the best results. So right now there is a yoga conference in Toronto. I'm all excited. It's my conversation starter for the week. What are you taking at the conference? So of course I have to ask, what are you taking at the conference and what are you going to be doing there? Are you taking a class? Are you not taking a class? So very exciting because I love exercise. I try to exercise every day, but I still need that motivation. I still need to play those inner tapes. So I do have a yoga practice. I do Zumba. I do boot camps, and I love TRX. So those are some of the things that I do. So a yoga conference, it's celebrating one of those things. In my early 20s, I started doing more yoga, and at that time it was so foreign, and people would say, "Is that an Indian thing?" And I'd be like, no, it's not only for Indian people. Lots of myths surrounded yoga and still do. So now in my past couple of years, I've taught yoga. I've gotten to include it in my self-care presentations. So now I get to break through some of the myths in my presentation and talks. So one thing that people believe, here's a yoga myth, okay? One thing that people believe is that yoga is only for fitness professionals, people who are model skinny, who are super strong, who look a certain way. People do believe this. I've tested this, I've surveyed this, and it's simply not true. They also believe that you can only be a yoga instructor if you look a certain way. Not true. Okay, so my yoga teacher is an older woman. I adore the wisdom that she brings through in our classes. She's done the work over time and is intuitive about what needs to come through for the class. So I'm really looking forward to this yoga conference because I've practiced and celebrated at the same time and enjoyed the benefits of yoga for so long. So right about now, if you're beginning to fall off of your own gym practice or going to classes or getting, as I said, to the gym, then you can begin to think about perhaps doing some yoga. yoga is a wonderful way as well to begin your day. When I was a little ballerina, we would do at least 30 minutes of our class, the classes were long, of bar work to bring about discipline, to build the body, to build our muscles and our strength. So it is a lot easier to do yoga, to do something like Taekwondo, to do something like swimming even, if you stretch beforehand. Runners always stretch beforehand. So important to do that. Our owner of the ballerina company was a Russian ballet dancer himself, and he insisted on this 30 minutes. He was a very strict and committed dance professional. So for us, we as the little kids in the class, we wanted to get to the fun drama exercises, the magic carpet ride, the creativity. Very, very great way to calm down a class of bouncing ballerinas. Make them do some stretching. So very good for the body, mind, and spirit. So while we weren't really aware of that, we were helping to grow our own bodies and strengthen our bodies. At the same time, I was taking swimming. At the same time, I was taking skating. Later at track and field, I was winning all of these ribbons. I didn't know how or why. I was always the tiniest girl in the class who had to sit in the front row and in the class photo. And I was so skinny, and it didn't look like I had a lot of strength, but I did from these trainings, from this exercise. So all winter long I had been training, but I didn't realize it. So when it came time to do the 100-meter dash, sprints became my thing. I was a mile ahead of the other people in the race, and I ended up taking first place. And the whole school was there cheering me on, and it was such an amazing, unexpected victory. So sometimes these unexpected things that happen as a result of all of our hard work, those are the jewels of life. That is what I want for you. So when we're doing yoga, we're putting in an investment. We're making an investment into our health. We're dropping lots of time and energy. It seems like it's cutting into our schedule, but really what we're doing is we're growing our mind, body, and our spirit all at the same time. And that is what I want for you. There is a benefit in it. Sometimes people think that this is as well as I am ever going to feel. I feel well right now. I have a sense of well-being right now. But they don't realize that with more time and more effort and changing things and tweaking things to take care of your own self-care practice, with more time it gets even better, and the feeling of wellness can grow, and your energy levels can grow, and you can really amplify the way that you navigate your whole life. For me, my success as a self-care expert, I was narcoleptic. I couldn't even stay awake. I was so tired, and I had the condition they called it was low daytime energy. Now, I'm not sure if that sounds like a real condition, but low energy was what they tried to call what I had. But what I really had was a lot of bad practices and habits. I needed to change my diet. I needed to get in tune with my mind, body, and spirit and listen to ways to grow my health and energy. Today, I work out practically every day. I take care of a huge house and family, and I have a husky who keeps me running and busy. So how did I make that switch from wanting to fall asleep at 10 o'clock every day and basically not having a lot of energy to do things to super energized woman? You know, some days I go to the gym twice. That's how committed I am. I have so much more vitality and energy and even spiritual connection. What is it? Okay, how did I lose 15 pounds in 5 weeks? Those are all things you can stay tuned for on this blog. I know I haven't blogged in a long time, missed you guys, missed making the videos. I was making my website, it took a long time, and is always a work in progress. Stay tuned for e-courses. I'm so excited to share some of these how-tos with you in a very deep way, in a very wise way that can only come from years of figuring these things out for myself. I didn't just read these things in a book and then make these switches. A lot of it is my own research, my own inner wisdom over time. I've had to put all of that together and bring it forward to you. So lots of soulpreneurs, solopreneurs, holisticpreneurs listening, people wanting to move their businesses into a more holistic space. And how can I navigate my business in more of a spiritual navigational point? How can I bring that out into the world where I'm actually designing my entire business from a spiritual standpoint? That's what I'm going to be teaching in the courses and kind of the core behind a lot of the trainings. So upcoming sales course that I plan to leave there for a long time, because that's one of the most empowering things that I could teach you. Other videos to explain those things, I'm just baiting that topic a little bit because it is a good one and one that we can go really deep with. It's not going to be a lot of here's 3 infographics and now you do it. Okay, it's going to be a lot of going deep into what should you do, what could you do, a lot of visioning and a lot of what's excavating, a lot of excavating what's inside of you already that you can bring out. There is so much talk about being who you really are. Part of figuring that out is having someone with the wisdom and the caring to ask you the right questions, okay? So if you're doing an excavation on yourself, but you're asking all the wrong questions and focusing on all the wrong emotions, then how can you then ever figure out the real answers to what that really is for you? And how can you keep it so that your self-care and yourself always stays intact and always stays in place? I worked at many corporate jobs. I worked in marketing for a long time at amazing jobs. And a part of me did begin to get stressed out. And later I went on to develop my own brands. And a part of me within that whole sphere of different jobs, different career advancements and developments, my own creativity and skills, was always asking, how can I make my life the most natural life possible? Because soon I'm going to have children and I'm going to have to bring them into this picture. How can I do all of this? So I'm going to also touch a little bit upon that. How can families best fit in to your whole life picture? Lots of bonuses and wisdom for how life really works. It's not going to be 1, 2, 3, and now you do it. It's going to be a lot of, okay, let's talk about that. And this is what I was going through at the time. This could be something you encounter, but it's not going to be also 30 videos of lengthy time. Okay, let's get to these things in the smartest, most efficient, intelligent way possible so that you can understand it. Okay, I'm going on a lot about the course because I'm loving getting to teach this content to you. So many people can benefit up their own skills and get the motivation to put more skills into their skill set. One of the most valuable things, okay, so learning to sell is an art, and doing it without feeling yucky, without being salesy. There is a wisdom in that, and there is a way of bringing it through as education. And I say this because the other day in the car, my son said, "You're teaching a sales course, Mommy? That sounds kind of yucky to me." You know, not in those words, maybe a little bit more rude words. Because he is a very strong personality and he will just whip these comments out. So part of being a mother right now on the planet Earth, 2017, is guiding our children not to be rude. They see lots of examples in the world and think it's okay to be rude, and if no one ever tells them not to be rude, then they can persist in being rude. So courtesy is a huge emphasis for our entire society. We've got to bring courtesy and caring back into the way that we talk to people and bring it through our own personal messages, whether it's in sales or just talking to someone at the grocery store. I have had my tangles with the grocery store people where I say, you get to talk to people every day. You can be nice. I have done this. So again, there is this misperception that sales are bribing people into doing things, right? We don't necessarily have to bribe people if our products are wonderful. If the things we're selling are so blatantly nice and uplifting into our lives, then we don't have to worry about convincing people. All we're doing is giving them the information at the end of the day. Of course, there's more to it, and there are scientific things to learn and theories to learn, but they're not tricks. We're never tricking people into buying things from us from our selling practice. It's more, I think, as holistic entrepreneurs, sharing, educating. I need to know if this is a running shoe or a cross trainer or a tennis shoe, because my feet might get hurt. That's what I said to my son. Okay, so I need that education, and if someone doesn't share that with me, then I could end up spraining my ankle or over time to hurting my feet. So knowing about the product and sharing, that's what we'll go into. How do you do that without being salesy and then also yielding the best results? So that's one of the things I was guided as a child to learn, and I made my first sale at the age of 16. That's another story. We're gonna leave you with that idea. I had missed making videos for you guys. It has been a little while, but watch the new website and see what that's all about.